I know for a fact. The most simplest design here is that
Akbar's razor.
That's how it is. Here we go. Hike. Once upon a groove on an old soul tune. I watch the pin move to shape the breakthrough. Who makes moves, maneuver in the right direction? The rest of you get left behind and messed up in this session. I'm not trying to make a difference. Maybe some pocket change.
welcome everyone to Drunkcast Live, episode 150.
Yeah, sure.
What, 50? Yeah, because we skipped last week. 150. I'm Travis.
Hi, I'm Dylan.
We're a podcast that takes place in bars and restaurants, and we like to hang out with interesting people and talk about the topics over the week, over drink. Drink week. Austin, Texas topics.
Drink about it.
We got Donnie Dotson over here on the left-hand side.
Hi, Travis.
He's our climatologist, octogenarianologist.
Yeah, I do know about the octogenarians.
Yeah,
That's why he's always coming here.
yeah. Don's
Research.
Mm-hmm.
Just do a walk through the dance floor, and you can do your research, write your thesis on the patrons.
Mm-hmm. He's been calling this the observatory for years.
Yeah.
Observatoriologist. And across from him we have Josh Woodard coming back to the podcast.
Fourth time.
Fourth
son.
time, yeah. That means you're a friend of the show now.
Oh, good.
Four times, yeah.
Does that mean I can just come whenever I want?
Yeah.
That's what I do anyway, kind of.
Well,
I came one time during work. Remember I was fixing that sign over there? I was like, hey, guys.
you came by to say hello, yeah. like our neighbor, and like if this was a television show.
I was looking at
Hey,
the
guys.
pager. I was like, I hope it goes off downtown so I can stop by the podcast during my
What were you doing?
emergency.
What were you doing at the time? You were fixing a sign, or you were trying to find the sign to fix?
I was on callback. Yeah, I couldn't find it.
And you couldn't find it.
There's a million signs right here. I don't know which one they were talking about. They're all fine.
It was obscured. Was that the deal?
Yeah. I just cut some branches up over there somewhere. I had to show back up at work with branches in the truck.
Any branches.
Turn those back in.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Dude, I
you go,
talked
boss.
to a lady this week that said there were branches in the road, that she lived in a certain area. And then when I got on the phone with her, she was like, well, right now I'm staying at the extended stay at Gracie Farms. And there's a little 2-year-old girl that walks around the property, and it's right next to the greenbelt, and there's cougars back there, and mule deers, and wild boars, and one of them's going to get this little girl. And on my street where I live, I'm trying to remodel my house, but some lady pooped in my garbage can. And I saw a stick fight between Asians and blacks, and one of them pulled a gun while I was bent over fixing my... She sounded like Tracy Morgan when he's playing the homeless guy. I seen a prostitute eating a truck tire. He was just going off.
A bunch of wolves took over and successfully ran a Wendy's.
And in between everyone, she'd be like, I mean, come on. I'm like, there's nothing I can do about any of that. None of that
Sorry.
concerns anything that I do. I mean, you're renting, and after a half hour, I got to be like, ma'am, I can't.
But
I'm going to get in trouble.
You still agreed with her to staying, though, right? Because
Yeah.
that is a lot of crazy shit happening. You know.
She's trying to price everybody out of her neighborhood, but they live in between a highway and a strip mall and an elementary school, and it's
Sure.
like a tiny sliver of houses.
Yeah, yeah.
It's never going to go up in market value,
Never
no
say
matter
never.
what she does to her house.
Not in Austin, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it starts with getting those branches out of the drive, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know if she was actually doing renovation or if she was just like, there's branches in the street. I'm going to go stay in an extended stay. Gotta get out of here.
Can't.
Can't stare at that fella.
Neighborhood's gone to
I can't
hell.
keep up with anything. I had a lady call and say somebody was going to come around the corner and hit her house, and then she called, and there's this perfect storm of circumstances that cause people to call the city.
Sure.
If
Did the sun come up that day?
You have to be retired. You have to be 300 pounds, and you have to be disabled.
Okay.
Those two kind of go hand in hand, because either you're disabled because you're 300 pounds, or you're 300 pounds and now
Right.
that made you disabled.
Yeah. No, we're not fat phobic here.
Yeah.
So you can't tell a person's health.
She said
by
somebody
how-
was going to hit her house, and then she called back 2 weeks later, and she's like, remember when I told you somebody was going to hit my house? And I was like, I don't know. What? No, okay. And she's, guess what happened? I'm like, somebody hit your house. Hold on. Let me get my pen and my gun. Because this is another half-hour thing.
Someone hit her house? What is-
Somebody went through around this corner, and I think we're going to have to put a Jersey barrier up. They went into her house.
I got a car.
Some people just want to talk, Donnie.
I worked dial-up tech support. I know.
That's what I do. Yeah.
yeah.
They just start going off on things that don't have anything to do with anything.
What's your particular department or role? What can you say, I guess? I'm not sure.
I work for an independent private traffic engineering firm in San Marcos.
That's very safe.
Yeah.
Very safe. This podcast is very popular in local government, so I think you're safe. NSA listens to it and they're like, oh shit, I gotta share this. Reply all. Link to. Why'd you put the MP3? Why did you just email 17,000 people? Shit. They're all replying back to it.
Oh, you know how much of that I see? Somebody accidentally replying all bad, awful things. Somebody was doing a kickball game and said,
yeah.
hey, can we get a couple more girls on our team? We have to have it equal. And some lady replied, all. Like the whole department.
Yeah.
We're not girls. We're women. And the guy replied back.
Thanks,
and was
Obama.
like, my buddy that I work with now, I didn't work with him then, but now I work with him. He replied back and he was like, I'm just saying we need more people. I don't care.
Right.
Semantics.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right. I didn't mean to.
It was very well crafted, though. It was pointillism.
Working in IT, I know for a fact that also pisses all of the IT guys off if you just send too much. Because there was a person who retired like semi-recently, last couple of months or so. The person retired, and someone decided to send an email to 100% of employees at the company that I work in, which is several hundreds of employees with many different email addresses and all this shit. And people started replying all to that reply.
Oh, Jesus.
And I just hear my dude, Mike Riley, the exchange guy, go, what the fuck? He types it really nice, like, hey guys, stop this right now, please. Okay.
In Virginia, I worked for a government subcontractor right during the beginning of the internet, kind of. It was
Sure.
1999.
Sure.
And I just looked at Phantom Menace news all day. And I heard about Ain't It Cool News, and then when I moved here, I was like, this is where that guy's from. And I saw him at a thing, and I was like, he's horrible. Why did I want to see that guy? And I
big
just
is-
emailed my friend Matt all the time, music. I'd find like free MP3s online and like tracks and remixes and stuff we were into or DJing.
Sure.
And then I started emailing them hot pictures of girls that I found. And eventually they were like, had a meeting with me and they're like, you've crashed our entire email server with all of these attachments because you're sending like short films. And they just weren't ready.
Wait, so you were DJing back then?
Yeah.
What, were you actually going to clubs and getting paid for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right.
I would wait tables at a bar and then ask them if they wanted some DJ night, and then I'd get my friends in and take some of the money and do some of the DJing also and do
Sure.
lights.
Do you skip to the next bar after that, like a carnival?
Wherever I waited tables at, yeah.
Okay.
But I was, I was 21,
Long
so I
con.
was really entitled. So if anything tiny went wrong at the restaurant, I was like, no, fuck this place. Out of here. I helped you. I brought an awesome rave that pretty much ruined your entire restaurant and had to be cleaned the next day.
What kind of music were you DJing exactly?
French house.
French house.
Just both of the guys from Daft Punk had their own label and side projects and everything.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of good bumping stuff like that. Then there was a scene in DC at the time. There was a club called Red, I think, in a basement that just throbbed. Like you could hear it from real far away. Just woof, woof, woof. So our house was like that also.
all the time.
We had a great. We lived in a pipe stem, a long driveway in a neighborhood, like a nice family neighborhood.
Sure.
We had a 5-bedroom house, and in the basement was a studio. We had egg crates with Star Wars figures on them and stuff, and we tried to dampen the sound.
Naturally, with the Star Wars figures, yeah.
Yeah.
But we were the only house at the end of this long driveway with houses all the way around us, and we had no fence, so all the kids would play in our yard, and we would get these noise complaints. So all the kids that were playing soccer in my yard, the next day, I gave them all a piece of paper to have their parents go sign. And I said, we get home from work, we want to take a nap. We don't have kids. Your kids are playing right outside our window. If you want your kids to play in my yard,
Then you
stop sending the police to my house at night for the base. Because we're trading sleep here. We're fighting over who gets to sleep when.
Was that effective? Did it work?
Nobody came back with a signature, no. But the kids stopped playing in the yard.
Okay, so half win.
We turned the music down a little bit.
Sure. This is a French house disco house mix.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that. I kind of graduated from it and got more into R&B because my
Sure.
favorite DJ was David Holmes at the time, who's now huge. He does all the Ocean's 11, 12, 13 soundtracks. And
Yeah.
he spins a lot of kind of Ike and Tina type stuff. So I got mostly into that. That's an endless well of, R&B from I gave you that
Deep cuts.
CD.
Yes.
You can't run out of jazz,
You can't ever run out of
or
jazz.
funk, or R&B.
Rad.
Yeah, whenever you give up on music, you can just go there for a while and come back when things get good.
Sure. I actually had this thought the other day. I can't remember who had brought this up, but it was Chance originally. I had this idea to stop listening to hip hop for 10, 20 years. Because like you've ever seen a thing where like if you're friends with someone who lost or gained a bunch of weight, you don't notice. But if you're friends, like if you see them every day, you don't notice. But if you're friends with a person who lost a bunch of weight and you don't see them for like
It's the
5
law of
years,
diminishing
it's like,
returns.
it's crazy. It's like you see and they're crazy. So
Yeah.
I'm curious if the same thing would happen in hip hop. Because I've been watching and paying attention, and it's getting a little bit rowdy, and I would love to, like, 10 years, miss it entirely, and just so it'd be, like, a snap to, like, why is it all about cum? Like, why is the entire genre based about coming on people? It's like 100% of the lyrics.
Why? Who's Young Jizzy?
Right. Why is that a record label? Young Jizzy Industries or whatever, you know?
It doesn't get better than 90s for me. I mean, we
Sure.
were in high school when everybody's putting bass boxes in their trunk, and it was Snoop
Oh, yeah.
and Dre, and
Fuck yeah.
it was, I mean, it can't be better than that. But, I mean, that's probably how awesome it is for 16-year-olds now who are in high school, and they do the same thing.
Yeah.
I saw a Spin magazine 3 years ago that said, like, EDM Empire and had, like, Skrillex on the cover. And it was, like, all this rave stuff. And I was like, I remember being at a rave when I was 15 and thinking, there's nothing better than this. This is awesome. We're like at summer camp. I mean, we're doing whatever we want all night, and the music's great, and all our friends are here, and everybody's having fun. Where is it going to go from here? It didn't go anywhere. It just stayed the same.
Right.
Yes, that is true.
They're still doing that. It's still available. The only thing that sucked about raving in D.C. was we had to go to Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. Charm City.
How far was that?
An hour. It's just Baltimore's horrible.
Why?
Have you seen The Wire?
Yeah. Have you seen The
Not
Wire?
really, no.
I don't either, because I already know how shitty Baltimore is. I don't need to reconfirm. It's like the San Antonio of D.C.
Yeah, that sounds pretty
We
terrible.
always say San Antonio is the Baltimore of Austin.
Yeah, because if you look at the headlines of Austin, it's like, oh, protests against building a dam. And then if you look at the headlines in San Antonio, it's like 5 people murdered. That's the difference when you look at the newspapers.
Murdered by something like a Zamboni or something. That's our Florida. That's, yeah.
So San Antonio's the Florida of Texas?
Yes. Okay. It's the Florida of Baltimore's. Yeah. It's the Michael Jordan of Baltimore references.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Lady gets in a fight with an alligator over a tiger with meth.
Yeah. Let's see what r/Florida man has.
Man.
Florida man.
This is the Florida man segment. What we do is we go to the top post.
I lived in Florida for a year before I came here. It was horrible.
Where?
We're in Florida.
New Smyrna Beach, which is just south of Daytona, which was great.
Yeah.
It was a tiny town. There was no chain restaurants anywhere. It was just mom and pop. Everything was an island.
That's actually kind of cool.
That was cool. But if you want to go to like a mall, you have to go to Daytona. Anything, you have to go to Daytona. What's Florida man doing?
Florida man signs dick.
Yeah,
Signs dick.
sounds about right.
Organ donor signs dick. His signature is a dick.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Florida man gets shot by puppy.
That sounds about right.
And the other one we saw recently, Florida woman vows to stop her. Florida woman super glues her eye shut.
Yeah.
I knew a
eye
guy
drops, yeah.
in Orlando that was selling fences for his father's fencing company, but he had too many DUIs, couldn't drive. He had a big sale he wanted to make the next town over, and he was like, I'll give you $100 or whatever if you drive me out there. And I was like, you don't have to give me $100. You just have to buy me a head unit for my car. I'm not riding in the car with you with no music. I don't want to hear your mouth. So we went to Best Buy and installed a head unit, and I listened to Black Rebel Motorcycle Club the whole time. And he's like, this sounds like Cat Scratch Fever, man. And
Ted Nugent.
he was drinking GHB the whole time from a Gatorade bottle to go make this sale. He was going to date rape himself. I think I probably already told it on air.
That's funny. No, it wasn't here. Was it on your show, maybe?
No, that was the one where he's like, hey, you need you to get your fish. I'm going to catch a fish.
All right.
Josh ran into a lot of
Was the
interesting
same guy?
characters in his East Coast days.
How did you know it was GHB? Did he tell you?
Yeah.
What color is it?
Well, he offered me some, and I tried some. It was kind of cool. But I
Sure.
didn't want him to date rape me.
Well,
So while
it's-
he was making the sale, it was in this gated golf community. I just walked around the golf course like, I'm kind of high. This is cool.
Yeah,
Never doing this again.
I've
But
heard GHB is actually pretty all right. It's as long as you don't mix it with booze. That's where it gets.
yeah, I
it
had
fucks
a
you up.
tiny sip of it just to see what happened, and
Sure.
something happened.
Just give you a little bit of
A
the
little something.
little the huzz, a little whistles.
You want to walk around an empty golf course for an hour?
And not be bored.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
There was a place
It's a
called
good slogan.
Disappearing Island that we went to. It was an island, and then the tide comes in, and everybody has to move their boats closer and closer to each other.
Oh, sure.
I didn't know anybody. I just met these people, and this guy had a concrete business, and he was going to give me some work, and so I just went out with them. And everybody drinks and moves their boats closer together, and then the island disappears at the end of the night when it gets dark. Everybody's
Have a
drunk.
party.
Yeah, but then it's a cop trap. There's a cop boat
Oh, 'cause
waiting
the
for
cop-
everybody to come down.
Yeah, they know that everybody's going to be.
So I didn't know anybody, and it was awkward. So I only had like 2 beers. So they were like, "Hey, man, can you drive the boat?" And I was like, "I've never driven a boat before, but sure." They're like, "You're sober, you can drive." And I was like, "I
Certain things.
am sober. I can't drive a boat." I didn't even know it was called driving a boat. I thought it was like piloting a vessel, or
Isn't it always sailing, regardless of the actual?
No, actually, it's
vessel?
different depending on the type of vessel you're.
Like if it has a steering wheel.
yeah, sailing
Yeah.
takes you away to where your mum. That's Christopher Cross says.
Oh, it's a Christopher Cross.
Take me away.
It actually is driving a boat like a normal boat. Yeah, yeah. Sailing. I believe it is something when it's a large vessel. It's a different thing. You're captaining.
It
or
was just
whatever.
like
Yeah.
driving. It felt just like driving.
Andrew, do you know that answer? It's sailing a boat when it's a sailboat, but what is it when you're
If it's a motor, it's driving.
with a motor boat?
Operating a
Are you operating? Is it driving?
Driving,
Yeah.
operating.
It's got a steering wheel.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brakes.
Definitely not sailing.
It's not
Yeah,
sailing.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no brake. There's just reverse. You just put it in reverse.
Yeah, because it's very, very serious
If it's a
about.
submarine, you drive a submarine.
Well, that's a boat.
Yes, but
Yeah,
but you drive
it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Let's take a break. We'll come back with a little bit more of the podcast.
Quick break.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
Look at the sound it makes when you throw it back too far. Yeah.
The night's new, what a feeling, what a nice mood. A bam, boom, rock, we're here to rock you. It's like, damn, what a vibe. Woo.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Yeah.
Segment 2, the fighting the double deuce.
Double deuce.
Double deuce.
Double deuce.
It's the Shia too.
The Shia 2. Woof.
Shia LaDeuce.
Woof. Yes, this is segment 2 of the Drunkcast. We're still hanging out on Don Sipo, still hanging out with Donnie, still hanging out with Josh, still hanging out with Dylan, of course, on the boards as usual.
Yep.
How are the boards looking tonight, sir?
Lots of red lights.
Still
And-
clean.
And there's bouncy things.
Good. Oh, good, good.
The Liberace of the potentiometers.
I think you should get that on a business card, I think.
I'm not sure about the Liberace part, but sure.
Well, I mean,
Well, you know.
have you ever tried broccoli? Yeah.
Matt Damon.
So, Josh, it's been a while since you've been on the show.
Yeah.
What the hell's been up to?
I
Working
have
class.
currently the most things going on in my life.
Great.
At once than more than I've ever had before.
Awesome.
They're all bad. It's all the bad things at once. My car
kids will do
broke.
that.
My teeth are rotting. My family's freaking out. I'm buying a house.
Yes, yeah.
My job
You're
is
building a
just
house.
ratcheted up to extra crazy.
Great, great.
I can't remember what. I can't keep up with all of it. Oh, so my best friend was going to have his 40th birthday party last Saturday. And
it turned into something
It was a
else.
big deal, yeah. And then he got in the limo. We got a stretch limo. We went to Nines Men's Grooming in South Austin. It was really cool. It's kind of like Boardwalk Empire looking inside this house.
Good.
Never even heard
And
of
they
that.
have a haberdashery kind of deal, or without hats, just fancy.
Without hats.
It's just they fix your hair and they have massages.
Without isn't. Okay. Anyway, go.
They have an
ahead.
open bar. If you just sit and waiting for your friends, you can just drink, which was rad.
That's awesome.
yeah.
I want to go to that.
And then we got in the limo, and he goes, "Oh, by the way, guys, I'm getting married tomorrow." We were like, "Oh, this is a bachelor party now." So we ended the evening at XTC.
Oh.
Has anybody been to this?
Yes, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've driven past there before.
That is the correct band.
XTC is the thing when it's 2 a.m. and you want to keep drinking and you want to see women that are completely naked.
I've never seen another human's asshole that close to my face.
Yeah, I know.
In person.
Not selling it.
I didn't think that that was supposed to happen.
No,
And they wink it at you like, winky, winky, winky. What are you doing there? What is it you trying to do with that? Am I getting a boner? I'm
Trying
not.
to make money. Damn it.
That hustle.
I'm always the shelf at the strip club because I have a big lap. I have long legs, so people just sit on my legs and talk to each other.
For some reason, every time I drive by XCC, I think I want Burger King.
They'll probably let you bring it in, actually.
That's BYOB. Bring your own burgers.
Now every time I go there, I'm going to want chicharrones. You got to look at it.
That got gross. I like it.
See, I was there for the planning of that.
Yeah.
Because I was hanging out with Sean, and Eli called, and he was on the speaker through his car. Yeah. He was like, "Hey, Donnie, you can't say anything, but Matt's getting married, so we're having a bachelor party."
They're married. They got married today in Vegas.
In Vegas, yeah.
Vegas. I want to go back to Vegas so bad.
I've never been.
Yeah.
Never been?
I've never
I
been
don't think
either.
I'm allowed. I need to be told to go home.
You need to be told. Oh, you definitely can't go to Vegas then.
Yeah.
That's not the place where they want.
I need someone to tell me that the evening's over and it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, they're not going to tell Pinocchio, no.
Well, no,
You're too much.
The thing about Vegas is the evening ends when your flight back home starts.
Yeah.
So that's it. So
Everything I know about Vegas is from Swingers and Fear and Loathing. It looks awesome.
both of those are
Ocean's 11,
fairly
maybe?
accurate.
Yeah. I would say those are probably more accurate than the Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Actually, Ocean
For
11
us normal people who are not.
Well,
For
no,
us plebes.
Yeah, please.
actually, I would say that it's much more common now that the Oceans are more accurate because there's a lot more of a luxury element and nothing is cheap anymore in Vegas.
Really?
It used to be.
Yeah.
You can go and you go either way.
Get a
Yeah,
deal
didn't
somewhere.
Vegas turn into kind of Disney World? Like,
No, briefly. Then they stopped that.
oh, okay.
No more kids.
Well, no, the whole
Leaving Las Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas was their marketing plan to bring back the revenue they lost when they were trying to make things kid friendly.
Right,
Which is why they
right.
had a lot of roller coasters and stuff like
Right,
in the
right.
late '90s, early 2000s.
Bring back the whole element of you're going to get fucked up
Yeah.
and you're not going to know what day it is.
Yeah, and
All
now,
those roller coasters are
Tried
death
to
traps now.
un-Giuliani Vegas.
Yeah, and now they
Hangover style.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now they have I guess, some of the largest and most popular EDM dance club things.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's DJs that live there, like comedians, like Penn and Teller and Carrot Top. There's
Yeah.
with Josh Wink lives there.
Or like
now.
Celine Dion.
Yeah, and they make shitloads of money. They have hotel contracts.
Yeah, there's no reason to leave. They're building a super mega train from LA to Vegas.
I've heard they've been trying to for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're ever going to get it done.
Is that another Musk thing, or is that?
No, this is something that's been on. Actually, Obama wanted to do this. Like when he first came into office, he was really trying to push this initiative.
Yeah.
It's been on the books for a long time.
Because they should just do a catapult and a lake
Yeah,
on either end.
yeah.
I mean, why not? I mean, there's a bunch of lakes there, and the buildings are tall enough.
in
They
the
can put
desert.
like a jumpy castle or
Right.
something
Yeah.
on top of one of the Trump Tower or whatever.
Some kind of catcher
Yeah.
net.
Can't possibly go wrong with the varying weights that
Yeah.
in America specifically.
Yeah.
Well, in LA, I think they're probably all the same weight.
If
Anyway,
it
so-
went wrong, you did it. It's your fault. You did it wrong. You didn't hold your arms right.
Right. Shouldn't have had that Kit Kat, Greg.
Is that the Steve Jobs defense? You're holding it wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Shouldn't use your hands. Why are you using your damn hands? Yeah. Steve Jobs.
He's so smart now to get cancer. Jesus.
I mean, there's a little
It's
bit
like
of truth to-
RoboCop. You can outsmart a bullet. You're pretty smart, huh?
Man.
Yeah, Vegas. Yeah.
I had a Ford Fairmont in high school, and we were listening to
Oh yeah.
Dre and stuff like that.
People
Bumping.
forgot about him recently, I heard.
And then, yeah, they solved that. It was like, hey, guys. So there was this hill that we would go down with my station wagon, and it had like another hill in the middle of the hill. So you get going down the hill, if you get like 40 miles an hour, you'll bump. Like you've got...
Oh, okay.
Like you've got hydraulics or whatever.
Like
Okay.
you've got,
Bounce, okay.
you're lifted or whatever. So we would put on the right song, me and my best friend, and we go down this hill, and I put my hand, on top of the steering wheel and make it look like we were bounce.
Sure.
But you
sure.
have to be speeding to do that.
Yeah.
So I always thought if I get caught by a cop, there's a neighborhood right here. I know exactly where to turn. I've been in there before. I'm just going to take a hard right, another hard left, and park in a driveway.
Sure.
Get out of the car and walk away. So after enough times, the chances are high enough where I got pulled over. And the guy caught me speeding and came after me. And I did my thing that I had always planned to do. Parked and got out of the car, and there he was.
Oh.
And he was like, you thought you were going to get away, didn't you? And I was like, no, I live here. And he gave me a ticket that said gave chase. on it, and I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
it kind of reminded me of Fear and Loathing when I saw Fear and Loathing. You're like, make the bastard chase you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I gave him a gift. I
You put
gave
the
Chase.
indicator on.
You gave Chase, yeah.
Now listen, I don't
You're
think
welcome.
people are going to remember you in Christmas, but I have a present for
I
you.
think that might be the most courteous ticket ever. Like,
I'm glad the cop didn't try
thank
to
you.
give me
You
a
gave
kiss.
Chase.
Yeah.
You made my day.
You
interesting.
gave back to the boys in blue.
You gave my
Thin blue wrapping paper.
At least the officer wasn't like, can I have a kiss? In the middle of nowhere.
New York.
You know, out of everything in that movie,
Make it sexy.
that was the most absurd. And I loved it because it was very confusing. Because it really didn't. I didn't think it felt the same as the theme of the movie in general, but it still made sense somehow. I love that scene because it was Nick Nolte, right? Yeah.
I used to use that line when I was too drunk to all my friends. I'd be like, how much did they pay you to screw that bear? Because that's how you know you're too drunk. You start looking at people and just thinking like the worst thing. After about 8
It's about letting
beers
your mouth
and mugshots.
Move before your brain starts. Yeah.
Mugshots with the mysterious third bathroom. Why?
Did they have a third bathroom?
There's just a counter in there. It's a utility bathroom.
Like a okay.
People go in there and get the sniffles and yell at everybody.
Oh yeah. Let me make sure that's legible. Wait, is there really a third bathroom in Mugshots? Mm-hmm. Like, is it a unisex?
Why? What's up? You wanna go?
Yeah, I mean, you know a guy.
I don't do drugs. I am drugs. Is that Salvador Dali or Frank Zappa said that?
Salvador Dali or Frank Zappa?
Same fucking
Well,
difference,
yeah.
really, guys.
Yeah,
the same
same
person.
reincarnation
Probably
of
the
the
same person, yeah.
spirit animal.
Frank Zappa is the Salvador Dali of experimental music.
Donnie, what have you been up to?
Okay, so I've
Now
been
that
playing.
Josh finally shut up.
I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5 a lot, and so in
What
Metal Gear
else?
Solid 5 you can build up your base, and so I decided that I need to build up my base in real life. So I spent a whole bunch of money and upgraded my battle station and got an ultra wide monitor and a standing desk and hooked everything up. And
Did you have multiple monitors before?
yes, I had multiple.
Do you
monitors.
like having a single large monitor now?
So far,
Yeah.
Did you just get in a box and leave the game on and all those things came to your house? Like in the road game?
I wish it was a supply drop. Actually,
That'd be awesome.
There was a big box that came via parachute to my
Just
house.
gonna sit here and wait and all of a
Yeah.
sudden...
Yeah. all of a sudden it's there.
For Dylan, so the Metal Gear Solid games have always been really strange. Like, they got too into the video game thing, but they've always been really strange because they're really tactical when it comes to stealthy sneak around and like knock people out and like hide the body kind of thing.
Okay, I
But at the-
appreciate
But
that.
at the same time, they're also fucking stupid because they get really stupid absurd. Like you can, for example, if a tank is coming, you have to blow the tank up. You can put these little decoys that when you hit a button, an inflatable soldier will pop up out of nowhere. And the tank goes, oh, that's weird. And they'll stop and investigate. And you can go to the tank and then hit it with a balloon that a helicopter will take. So now you have the tank and the person inside it.
You're gonna have a horse shit on the ground and the Jeep will skid out and
Yeah.
stop and then you
Yeah.
can kill all those
Yeah,
guys.
it's just goofy stuff.
It's
Okay.
like one of the the game's been going on since the 80s. But one of the one items you can use in basically every game that I can remember is a cardboard box. You can hide in the cardboard box in order to make the people see you and you hide in the box and they're like, oh, it's just a box, whatever. In this game, apparently, you can do decals on the box that include soldiers. And if they see a Russian soldier on the box, they'll stop and salute, and they'll keep saluting until you knock them out, because it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's so stupid.
Because it's Hideo Kojima.
Because it's Kojima, and that guy hates gamers.
You can put a lady on the box and then they go, ooh, a lady, and then drop their gun.
Yeah, yeah. You can put a lady in the box. You can. There's a snake decoy, I think, too. Like all sorts of stupid shit.
It's just a bunch of goofy stuff, but it's
you get a
it's
dog,
really
and
fun.
then this dog is
quirky.
pretty cool as a
It's got a lot of
secondary
personality.
character, like as your buddy, and like he can sniff, and like so your map will show all the guys around. But the dog also has a knife, so
Okay.
like in a holster, he pulls around and then
Why does a wolf need a knife to murder your neck?
right. They still have mini tiny knives in their mouth, you know.
Huh.
But so you also
So it's a fun game.
you also it's a fun game.
Yeah.
It is fun, I'd say.
Yeah.
I was on one hand, I
a lot
appreciate
funnier.
the absurdity of it.
It is just enough absurd.
It's the funnest one so far to me.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
it is
a lot more
In the
fun.
original one, there was an actual character you had to fight who was a psychic, and you couldn't shoot him because he was
He knew where
psychic.
the bullets
he
are,
knew
yeah.
where what was going on.
Oh.
And at some point on your in your system, Psycho Mantis, and the system, you got a call from your superior officer, like the
It's
guy.
like, he can read everything you're doing. You need to use the other controller ports.
And so you take the controller port off and put it in second player, the PlayStation, and now he would scream, "Oh, I can't read your mind anymore!" And then you can do whatever you want to. After it says like the fourth wall just doesn't exist.
Yeah, there's no fourth wall.
And again, it's like it's kind of neat, but at the same time, like if
really
I think about it for more than 30 seconds, I'm like, fucking stupid. Because the second game had
It's like the
vampire, like the Bible.
So the other thing that I've been doing that made me realize that I am the nerdiest, most boring person in the world is I've been listening to this podcast called Star Wars Minute. So these guys on this podcast, every episode is 1 minute of Star Wars. So minute 1 is episode 1, and they watch the first minute and they talk about the first minute of Star Wars. Number 2, minute 2. You know, then they watch the second minute
with
of
the
Star
New
Wars and
Hope,
talk
we
about
decided
it.
to drink every time you see R2D2.
Oh,
You get
God.
shit housed. I had no idea how often you see R2D2 in the first hour of A New Hope. It's just
Yeah.
all about R2D2 every 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's always cutting back to
Like,
it. or
oh,
whatever.
drink. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah.
So Josh, you're a pretty big Star Wars fan, right?
Yeah.
Star Wars. Man.
Ooh, you.
77. I was born in 77. My mom covered my eyes when they cut the Tauntaun open.
Nice. Nice.
Me and my friends,
It was a big
cracking
deal
up
back
about the Ewoks. You know what? Everybody our age was mad about the Ewoks in 83.
Yeah, I've heard
And then
that.
we were older in 99. We were mad about Jar Jar.
happened.
Yeah.
But now I've got kids, and I'm kind of hoping one of these Star Wars movies is a little bit where I can bring them and they'll enjoy it.
Because you want to be able to see the movie, or you want them, you want to enter into, you want to
You want
introduce
them,
them.
you want them indoctrinated into the cult of Star Wars by something.
I want them
I
to
think it's going to
enjoy
be BB-8. I think it's going to be the little ball droid.
I'm going to throw this
He's
out
dope.
there for you because I saw Star Wars when it first came out because I was 80, 90 years old.
You were 80.
But I was 5
Yeah.
when Star Wars came out.
Perfect.
And it didn't have any Wookiees or it had a Wookiee, but it didn't have any little cutie party things. It was just here are characters, boom, and I didn't need to have.
Yeah, but you're from the
something-
streets.
That's true. That's true.
Mean streets of Kentucky.
Yeah, you're
No,
gritty.
I'm not from Kentucky. Goddammit. I have a spreadsheet proving this.
A spreadsheet.
No, I actually had to do that one time, but that's a different story. But I don't think you need to have that cutie element because kids understand fantasy much better than adults do.
The cutest
inherently,
element
yeah.
in the first Star Wars was the Jawas. Like, there was nothing.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
was, and that was
those are
gritty
bastards.
and all that.
Yeah.
But see, I was a year old when Return of the Jedi came out, so it was just always there. The first Star Wars thing I ever watched over and over was Ewoks Battle for Endor when I was about 3 or 4 years
Sure,
old.
sure.
So it's always been there. I wish I'd have had the experience of going to the theater and watching Star Wars for
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
that'd be
time.
excellent.
I never
Actually-
got to have that.
Here's one more point on that. So the first time I saw Star Wars, we didn't even actually go to see Star Wars. This is again the power of the movie itself, and also the appeal to children. My parents took us. We went to a drive-in.
Went to go see Annie Hall.
No, well, I'm not sure what the hell we were saying, but we were in a drive-in theater, and back in the day, you'd have 2 screens. You'd be on one side, and be on the other, and you'd pull your car up. We had a station wagon, and my brother and I spent the whole time staring at the back of the station wagon, mesmerized by Star Wars on the other screen, 500
Way
feet
across
away,
the field or
without
whatever?
any audio
any
at
audio,
all.
cool.
Oh my god!
And the audio of the movie, which was like, no. But we just stared at it, going, "That we
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
see that."
Well, I bet your parents were able to bang in the front seat and you got away with it.
No, I don't.
They're looking all the way over there. They don't even care.
Look, there's Star Wars over there.
Thank God a red light happened.
Perfect
'cause-
time to take a break. We'll come back more with Dylan's Momcast.
break.
These dusty bricks, bitters, mix, bitter cats, split whip.
They figured out the best way to get even more swollen is to go to a smaller town.
Wilt great. Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break. Like, damn, what a vibe. Woo! I got my old soul.
That's awesome.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Segment 3 of the Fighting 3.
Yeah, it is.
The third segment of the podcast, and this is Pert Hapley with the segment that I'm starting now. Selling out with Donnie, selling out with Josh, selling out with Dylan.
It's the Rebel Alliance segment, I believe.
Well, yeah, of course. You know the craziest thing about that game, Battlefront. Talk about it for a second. Battlefront is when you're playing as the Imperials, nothing sucks more. But when someone picks up that Luke Skywalker metal thing, so they can turn into Luke, and that thing pops in, that rebel, da-da-da-da, you get pissed off. You're like, no, fuck this rebel scum.
Yeah.
I want to find him, I want to kill him, and then he murders you to death.
I've been
because
calling it battle cunt because I yell at it so much whenever fuck you.
it kind of reminds me of Counter-Strike in a certain way, where like when you have a really good round, you're like, yeah, I'm the best at this. Like golf. Like, I'm the best at
You're
this.
in the flow.
But when reality sets in and everything sucks because you're not good at anything,
It's like comedy.
you just
Like stand-up.
you throw everything, you yell, you get mad.
Well, you're a stormtrooper.
You're a stormtrooper, yeah.
Yeah, you're great when you're by yourself and with your buddies, but
Once you start shooting,
you can't hit shit.
Cheers to
There's
that,
been
sir.
a lot of Star Wars games that have come along that have promised
Cheers.
something, and
Yeah.
in theory they always sound rad, and I look forward to them, and I buy them. Like the Rebel, what was that Xbox one with the Stormtrooper, the clone squad?
Oh, the
That was pretty
Republic
good.
Commando?
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Sure.
Jedi Power Battles was good because you could deflect blaster bolts.
And then
back.
everybody saw the trailers for Force Unleashed, and I was like, finally, I can do all the evil Jedi shit I want to do. And then
Yeah.
it was not that good.
It was insane.
I thought the second one was cool. The first one, I don't know a lot of that.
This is the one that's kind of fulfilling all of the promises that we've always dreamed
It
about.
is because the way they do it is
Awesome.
it's very cinematic. So you're running around as just this normal again, like
So would you call this the stick of truth version of a Star Wars game?
I would say
like the best
probably.
version of that IP so far. Yeah,
Yeah.
I made a game thing.
you did. Yeah.
I made a
Words.
game.
I made words happen.
So you're shooting your blasters at each other,
did
you're
a
doing all this
smart.
shit, and things are crazy, and then you can find this pickup, and you grab the pickup, and then all of a sudden it will snap to, you're not that guy anymore. You're a person in an X-wing, or you're a person in a TIE fighter that's just flying into the battle, and then now
that's kinda cool,
Now you're doing the
actually.
vehicle thing, and it's a little different, and it's tough, and like you can zap into the AT-AT, which
So,
is
so you're not
so
locked
fucking
into
fun.
one point of view. You can-
Exactly,
oh,
yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
And there's not different roles. You're always like just a regular soldier until you pick up something that allows you to do a little bit better. Like, and that's cool. And I like the way they do
Actually
that,
sounds
especially
kinda
because when
good.
Vader shows up or when Luke shows up, it's like
You
all,
run away.
all of a sudden you're that that person, and then everyone fucking runs.
There's a game that I've
noise.
wanted my whole life where, like Grand Theft Auto, you can get into a ship and fly straight up and leave the planet and go to another planet.
That's Star Citizen.
Oh, it's No Man's Sky now is what
Yeah.
it's looking
That's
like.
apparently the next step is.
I want
No
like a
Man's Sky.
GTA on. I don't even care if it's little, like a busted up planet with a bunch of space stations and asteroids around it. I just want to leave the land
Yeah.
and go to another and land on another thing.
That's literally what Star Citizen was trying to do. That is their big plan, was to allow you to, if you never wanted to leave the planet, you can open a bar or like a pawn shop and you could stay there forever. Or if like Dylan and I want to, like me, Dylan, and you, Josh, and Donnie, and one other person wants to help me run a ship while I'm flying the ship, you guys can run around and like
Could be the Cowboy Bebop crew.
yeah, well, Dylan can repair the ship
Smart
as
play.
things go crazy. You can be like the Scotty thing, and then people can run to the blasters on the other thing. Like all of the stuff. Like you leave, you go out and explore. You do nothing or anything at all. Like that's great. And then No Man's
this
Sky
out?
is apparently like really killing it in comparison.
Yeah, it's good enough for the guy to be on Colbert.
He's on Colbert. Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Is Star Citizen out?
No, nowhere near. It's because it's too ambitious. That's the biggest problem.
I still haven't seen footage on YouTube of any game where you can walk up to a vehicle and get into it and then manually drive it away from the land.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
That's Star
land
Citizen.
on-
That's literally what Star Citizen does.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's YouTube of that.
Yeah, I think there was actually there's a couple open betas that happen here or there where you can like you run around, you walk up to your thing, you get into it, and you can yeah. We'll share some stuff.
Okay.
Video game talk.
So we did not have a
Game.
conversation. Well, yeah, game. We did not have the conversation last week. We did not have a show because I was feeling under the weather, and I didn't know if I was able to be smart enough to actually talk about video games. So we didn't have one until 1:50 was supposed to be with Mike and his girlfriend. I can't remember if I can say her name or not, so that didn't happen. I'm sorry. So that's why this is
Mrs.
1:50.
Mike, yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff that happened over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You don't have to be smart to talk
I
about
missed
video games.
the last 2 weeks, so
Yeah.
this is all news to me.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, you've been really busy
I have been very busy.
with good things.
Are you lucky?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
And I'll never forget it.
Like crusty. Oh God!
So
What have I done?
So I don't watch baseball. the Cubs are a thing, right?
They're winning.
And they're getting close to a thing that was also
They-
Back to the Future-ish.
Yeah, so in Back to the Future Part 2, they said the Cubs won the 2015 World
Wish I
Series.
could put some money on the Cubbies.
Yeah, now it's 2015, and the Cubs won the first little part of the playoffs that gets them eventually maybe to the World Series if they keep winning. So
But they have a long way to go, and they're the Cubs.
Oh, sure.
Who have not been to the World Series since 1908.
But there's at least two things we know for a fact that have come true finally. There are two different versions of our hoverboard.
That is true.
Lexus has
That-
one,
that
which is
true.
closer to what the thing
didn't
is.
Wiz Khalifa or somebody get arrested
On a hoverboard?
on a hoverboard?
I mean,
So anyway, there's the hoverboard news,
And then-
Lexus,
Yeah,
and
there's-
all those
there's
guys.
and there's also shoes that will lace themselves.
Is there really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Flying cars.
So we're getting close to flying cars. May or may not.
Working on
Sure.
it.
I
But
think we're going to overshoot that by about 20 years.
that's why the Jaws 19 thing was kind of cute. And Universal put out Jaws 19 as a throwback to because it's the 30th anniversary
So
of the Back
when
to
are
the
they
Future
building
series.
a Cafe 80s in Austin is what I want to know.
Well, and Pepsi.
That'd be really heavy if they did that.
It'd be heavy.
Why do you keep saying that? Is the gravity
Is it
way
gonna be
worse?
changed in the
for you?
future? Yeah.
You saw that Pepsi came out with Pepsi Perfect.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like a special 30th anniversary,
Just for Back to the Future.
50th,
Yeah.
90th, whatever. However,
I'm surprised they didn't
old
bring back
Pepsi
Pepsi
is.
free. They should have just done that. It would have been easier.
If you want a Pepsi pal, you have to pay for it.
And you bring back Crystal
Can I
Pepsi.
get a tab?
Pepsi Perfect. I
buy
love
something.
it.
Is that what it looked like in the 1989 film Back to the Future Part 2?
Well, no, this is what it looks like in the
Oh,
real life right now.
no,
That's why I want it so
uh,
bad.
Google Glass basically was already kind of predicted also. in
Yeah. Getting close to.
They had widescreen TVs.
Yeah.
They had.
And they had a
they
voice,
had
com-
read
voice
my
command.
facts,
Yeah.
which didn't quite exactly.
They missed that one.
So there was an interview with one of the
Fax machines
screenwriters.
still exist, though.
There was an interview with one of the
They do.
screenwriters of Back to the Future Part 2, and he was saying, "Hey, we did our best, but we could not have predicted smartphones. Like that was not even anywhere entering our mind at the time we were writing in 1998 or 1988 or whenever they were writing
People
the
barely
screenplay.
had computers at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love how Zemeckis is like, no way ever for. Sorry, I have to be dead.
I love that. I love that too.
do
It's
not
locked.
reboot.
I
Do
really-
not
It's locked.
reboot.
Really appreciate that. Oh, yeah,
Do not
'cause
resuscitate.
it's kibosh to a reboot, right? Like never going to happen.
No, not while he's
While he's
cold
alive.
dead hands.
Yeah,
You have to pry it
yeah.
from his cold dead hands.
Well, it's also
Guys, I want the version of Back to the Future where Marty's a girl, and it's all girls that he meets, and Doc Brown's a girl too.
But it's also Steven Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy is Amblin that they don't do reboots.
Sure.
That's not what their jam. They make new movie things.
yeah.
Did you guys see that Stephanie Meyer is rewriting the first
Oh, great!
Twilight book
Fantastic.
to switch the roles of the characters?
Oh, that's
Okay.
that's even
Now
better.
the girl's a vampire.
Not that girl, but the vampire is a girl. The distinction is important. It's not that. It's
So-
not. It's,
So,
Bella is
True
not.
Blood.
Bella is not going to be. Is it True Blood then?
What's it like for a vampire girl in her period?
Delicious. You know how you take a bunch of Slurpee straws and stick them together?
My dad.
Self-fulfilling prophecy?
Super straw.
Yeah.
Self cannibalism.
Yeah.
We did cocaine like that once at Sean's house. A bunch of straws so we didn't have to sit up.
Stephanie Meyer.
You could lean back on the couch.
That actually happened. Oh, my
That is
God.
a thing. Apparently, that's what's.
Okay, that's gonna happen.
That's
Okay.
confusing people because they couldn't figure
So
out what the
I-
actual gender
I only
identities
hope
are supposed to be.
because
at some point there was like, oh, is it because the girl is now going to be the feeble vampire and the vampire is going to be like the strong?
No, she's gonna
women,
be.
but-
The only way to do this right is for the vampire girl to be Manic Pixie Dream Girl,
Right.
because the original Twilight was all about a horribly unhealthy relationship and the thing that girls go for. So now it needs to be the opposite: a horribly unhealthy relationship in the other way, the thing that guys go
Oh,
for, which
so
is the
she's-
Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
She's a stripper. They
That's
work.
just you,
They
Dylan.
work
Yeah.
at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan's version of Twilight.
Fair enough. True story. Yeah.
Oh, Shirley, since you have clearly failed to grasp the central insipid metaphor of those Twilight books you devour, let me explain it to you. Men are monsters who crave young flesh. The end.
Thank you, Jeff Winger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
The Shining.
Yeah. This year, one vampire finally finds a man.
Read a record skip right here.
Yeah.
She was left at the altar.
And then left for dead.
She never could have predicted her true love would have been found after life.
Starring Tom Cruise as Lestat.
The fantasy that was fulfilled with Twilight was that the girl couldn't get enough of that guy because he had powers.
Yeah.
So she went for him.
Yeah,
but
and
a girl
she-
doesn't have to have powers for a guy to go, oh,
She just
I'll
has
do
to
whatever
be
you
cute
say.
and wink.
A girl has to have a vagina
Yeah.
for a guy
Yeah,
to want to
exactly.
be with
So they're
her.
already vampires.
Yeah.
I'm going to veto everything that's happening right there.
No, this is the theme song for this version of Twilight. Life After Love.
Jesus. Please stop this now.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Hey, by the way, Stephanie Meyer, we own this. This is our idea.
I'm gonna-
Royalties, please.
Yeah.
There's no way that Cher's not strong enough. She's a woman. She's strong. She's fierce.
She's very.
What were they saying on
muscular.
South Park? Brave and
Stunning and brave.
Stunning and brave.
Did you watch those?
No, not yet.
Why the fuck is there not one this week?
There wasn't one this week. Yeah,
Because they're counting their money.
You're not ready.
the last one was
You've already
really good.
fulfilled
Not
what you
ready.
need. You should be good after the first two.
All right, we're going back to Salisbury Field then. Peter Gabriel. I
Salisbury.
actually didn't know this was a Peter Gabriel song. It's so excellent.
You didn't know that?
No, I had no idea. I mean, I know he writes excellent material, but it feels it's more Men at Worky.
No, Men at Work came after this.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Though is like
He was
I
the
think of
progenitor.
Sledgehammer.
The progenitor of music.
The
Yeah.
Progenesis tour, I think, actually.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's in
New
he's in
World.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Once for being Genesis, once for being Peter Gabriel.
And goddamn
Nice.
slams Sledgehammer.
Such a great song.
It's still a fucking amazing video.
If only there was a way I could play right now.
Ah,
I know.
ah,
The Shining.
The Shining.
So aside from
The
Star
shitting.
Wars,
We don't want to get sued.
for the rest of the year, what are you guys excited for when it comes to movies?
I've heard The Martian is everything that apparently it's
I need to go see that.
I've heard
Actually,
nothing
yeah.
bad about it at
I've
all.
heard it
I've been
is-
thinking it's. Yeah.
If you're a nerd, if you like science fiction, if you like Matt Damon, apparently it is an amazingly good movie.
Yeah.
I want to see The Good Dinosaur. I'm a Pixar. I'll do whatever
Yeah,
they say.
Pixar.
Is that
Pixar
Pixar?
is the best of all worlds.
Yeah, I'll do whatever they want.
Pixar's good.
Wait, was Matt Damon in Interstellar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was the bad guy.
The bad-ish guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This meme pops up recently because I saw this. The Martian America has spent so much fucking money retrieving Matt Damon, Saving Private Ryan, Interstellar.
Yeah.
But I thought there was a third one.
Well, someone did a people saving Matt Damon.
Well, I don't know. It's just the Born Supremacy. Camp,
Well,
or
the
Bourne?
best one I saw was someone took the South Park Matt Damon and then redid the poster.
Yeah, that was what I posted on the
yeah.
email
Yeah.
thread.
It was
Yeah.
Matt Damon.
Is Matt Damon and Matt Damon.
I can't spell.
But they perfectly got the head.
They get right
inside
in the space.
It's a space suit. Yeah.
It's in the email.
There's no search apparently. Huh.
Yeah. That's probably have to be the cover art for this week.
So you're thinking? Well,
Good
what was the
Dinosaur?
movie you said?
Oh, Good Dinosaur.
It's a new Pixar movie.
You said it is a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Did you see Inside Out?
Yes.
He fell asleep in Inside Out.
Yeah.
I haven't,
So it's that good?
I haven't even heard of Inside Out.
Really?
Yeah.
So Inside Out is actually like from what I understand of Inside Out is actually like the Pixar The Flag, the same thing they've been doing forever. It's a simple concept. It's basically Herman's Head.
Okay.
It's about a little girl who has these characters in her brain.
No, I understand the '90s reference.
Oh sure, yeah.
That's there.
But apparently, it's got that kick to the balls emotion that every Pixar movie they've ever put out in the last, especially in the last.
It's about.
70
It's
years.
about being a kid and growing up and how your feelings work. That's what it's about.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it yet, and I really want to see it, but it's apparently super fucking
I've never even heard of it.
I have a friend at work. His name is Kevin Calhoun. We call him KC Masterpiece because he's dope and also KC. He's the guy that I told the Eric Clapton joke. My favorite Eric Clapton joke is about cocaine, and I'll bring it up later when I remember it. But whatever. So I told him a joke about Eric Clapton. He got sad because
It was Eric Clapton has his kid in a bag of cocaine in the window.
Oh, what's the difference between his bag of cocaine or a child? Eric Clapton would not let a bag of cocaine fall off the patio.
Yeah.
Many stories up or something like that. And he is he's like that's great. That's very funny. But
little bit.
Eric Clapton, man. Like, okay. Love him for this.
Cheers to heaven, yo.
His first Pixar movie was with someone else on the team as a kid, and they went to go see Inside Out. And he's like, he'd never seen a Pixar movie, any of them. What? And he got finished, and he was like, guys, I can't do another one. Like, I can't. I cried too much. I was like, you should see Up. He's like, nope, never again.
Yeah, that's my thing with Quentin Tarantino movies.
Wally.
With,
That's another
with
one.
Quentin Tarantino movies and Pixar movies, every time I walk into one, I forget. I walk into a Pixar movie and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna cry now. I forgot there's a Pixar movie. Quentin Tarantino movie, I'm like, they're talking a lot. Oh wait, it's a Quentin Tarantino movie. Of course they're gonna sit there and talk for minutes and minutes and minutes. I have the Quentin Tarantino and the Pixar forgetfulness every time I walk into one of those.
The parents don't.
Quintinesia, they call it.
Quintinesia.
The parents don't die in Inside Out. Usually, one of the parents or both of the parents are dead in one
a
of the
Disney movie?
movies.
Yeah.
Usually, they die. And Inside Out teaches children how to steal their parents' credit card, get online, buy a bus ticket, and run away from home. Which is great to bring your kids.
It's great to bring the kids.
It's great for your daughter just starting kindergarten.
Mad about a new school.
Isn't that good, though, at some point to have a conversation with your kids about why you shouldn't do that? You know? Like,
I guess now in the parlance, yeah. Dude, Ivy, my daughter, had an active shooter drill at their elementary school.
Yeah,
last
she
week.
was talking about this.
They closed the doors and the shades.
Isn't that kind of similar to hiding under your desk?
That's what we were actually having that conversation. Actually, I was having that conversation with Josh's wife. I was like, well, back when we were kids, we had the thing where you hide under your desk or you go in the hall and you put your head between your legs and you
Kiss your
cower.
escapade.
That was just
Yeah.
you and the janitor that did that.
That was just me and the janitor. Yeah, so that's kind
Put your head between my legs now.
But yeah, they had a drill. They have drills at school now where the kids all have to sit in a dark room and lock the door and not make any noise, and then they have a person walk around through the halls and shake at the door and knock and try and get in.
Say horrible things.
This is
Or
the
rape everybody.
get under your desk to avoid the atomic blast equivalent.
Yeah, it's because
literally is
because
completely
everybody's so
pointless.
scared about mass shooters now that Sandy Hook and Oregon and all these things have happened.
We have had like
on.
150th in this year or something crazy.
Yeah, I know
So,
it's ridiculous.
yeah.
Maybe they should make school easier. People get pissed off.
It's fucking Common Core, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Obama.
You know, we're running out of time, but I finally figured out what Common Core is about, and I actually really love the shit out of it.
Have you seen their math?
In theory, it's great.
Yeah, because their math is...
It's stupid.
No, the reason why I like it, and again, we have 3 seconds left. We're going to come back after this. Break.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break like this.
When this happened, when I saw this, I went, "Ooh."
On this deep groove, and the night's new. What a feeling, what a nice mood. A bam, boom, rock. We're here to rock you. It's like, damn, what a vibe. Woo.
We're holy, yeah.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Yeah! Segment 4, the Fighting Four. We are at the end of our episode of Drunkcast 150 with Donnie, with Josh, with Dylan.
Yeah.
And me, Travis. Yeah.
Hi, John.
We didn't really get a chance to talk about the things that happened over the week, but we have the opportunity now. If anyone wants to talk about something that was interesting, Josh was very kind to read everything I sent him. Was there anything that you liked so much you were like, holy shit?
I liked all of it, but I want to talk about the future.
What's the future? Let's talk about the future.
It's 2 days from now.
Okay.
It's Columbus Day.
Is
When
that already? Oh, man.
When is that going to be not PC anymore for the rapings and everything?
Everything needs to, yeah.
The smallpox,
Yeah.
smallpox blankets.
So my wife and
Yeah.
my family were talking about how horrible everything was that happened when Columbus came. But basically, it's like if you're scuba diving and you're out of air and you find somebody down in a cave in the bottom of the water with some air and you're bigger than them, you're going to take some of their air. There was no way for them to have a ship full of people and food that was going to last all the way across the Atlantic and come back then.
Sure.
So they got here and they were like, oh, we're fucked. But these people don't have guns. And we're hungry.
Pretty
Could have
much.
just been
Sure.
nice.
So it was. I'm wondering to what degree there was just desperation involved in the takeover, the hostile takeover that happened. Was it premeditated, or were they just like, well, we don't have any food, and we should probably just murder our way?
I think it helped that the natives weren't Christians.
Yeah.
Song all about somebody named Christopher Columbus.
What have we here?
This is, in 1492, Columbus Day Song for Children.
And found a place called America.
Didn't actually.
They didn't.
The Dominican Republic.
1492.
Mr. Mike TV, ladies and gentlemen.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He had 3 ships he left from Spain. He sailed through sunlight, wind and rain. He sailed by night, he sailed by day. He used the stars to guide his way.
All right, that experiment failed. That's the best. You can show me what you got, YouTube.
With people going back and getting angry with Star Trek from the 70s for being sexist or racist retroactively.
You want to look 500 years in
Yeah, I mean,
the
when is it
past?
gonna
It'd
get
be
that
like,
bad?
hey, they didn't understand gender identity. You know, like
Well, you put that thing, I read your link about the highway funding,
Yep.
and I think that they should stop until they're done with figuring out how driverless cars are going to work before they do anything.
Anything else?
I mean, they
what
should-
was the highway funding?
It's like the whole USB thing. I mean, they keep making new. They had zip drives, and then now have USB, and it's like, when are you going to
Jazz
stop?
drives too. Don't forget the jazz
Oh, yeah.
drives.
They were the bigger ones.
unsung hero.
At what
of-
point are you going to stop and wait and go, well, let's wait and see before we start developing around everything?
You got Blu-ray, you got HD DVD,
Yeah.
and then like, oh, well, we see what the porn
Mini
industry
disc.
goes with, because that's always the ones that decide what the
4K online.
4K online now.
Gross. Gross. I
Look at those stretch marks. Look at those stretch marks.
I don't want to see porn in 4K.
You can see every puncture mark.
That's the only thing I agree with. That's the only thing I semi-agree with some of the ideas that are coming out of Donald Trump's mouth about. I think that America should close for renovation for a while. I think that we should humbly tell the rest of the world,
Sure.
we fucked it up. So we're talking to the Australians
let's
right
try
now.
again.
We fucked it up. I'm sorry.
You cunts.
Everything that we meant to do, it kind of got jerked, and we need to stop all wars involvement, and we really can't take anybody in. It's broken right now. We need to fix it first.
So
before
first we
we
need
can,
to make America great again.
yeah. I don't want to kick anybody out or keep anybody out, but I don't think we should be involved.
The bathroom's out of order, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah, we're not leading by example enough.
We need to call a plumber. Please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
not today. It's cool.
Yeah.
Eventually, but not right now.
Yeah, but within that same metaphor, we're not even willing to put up a wet floor sign. You know, like America's not even so bad that we
That'd
can
be
say
deadlocked in Congress, the wet floor sign.
Yeah, just say like, no, it's a little slippery
And
right
it
here.
won't be in Spanish. God damn it.
No cuidado.
The dream is like the heartland and owning a home, and nobody can own a home, and the whole heartland is on meth. So
Yeah.
it's not. The dream is not.
That's
a thing.
messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't take their math.
Mike Tyson would say, that's messed up.
PlayStation.
that's messed up.
Can't do Mike Tyson. Anything else in the mailer that we missed that we want to talk about at all? Honey Boo Boo at all? Honey Boo Boo guy?
Honey Boo Boo made a
Shia
video,
LaBeouf?
and it existed.
I
Shia
think we should
LaBeouf
do an
got-
episode from the state fair where we're all just eaten and we're all just going.
Sure.
Actually, that's something. I'm not sure how often we've mentioned that because we've been on the air for a few years, and we know a lot of the listeners are not from Texas.
Yeah.
The state fair food phenomena is a thing that's
It's been a thing for a long time.
but it's typically American. Is my point.
So the thing about this weekend is that this is the UTOU college football game, and right outside where the game happens is the Texas State Fair in Dallas, Texas.
That's correct.
And so that's where we figure out what kind of things we can deep fry.
Correct.
And so if you Google Texas State Fair deep fried food, you can see all the wondrous bounty of Texas's deep fried indulgences.
You know, I'm thinking we have a whole new avenue we can explore here. Again, based on some of our traffic, like deep fried figgy pudding, deep fried spotted dick.
I'm sure
Deep
that
fried
exists.
blood sausage.
What happens
There
if
you
you
go.
fry
Yeah,
gravy?
there you go.
Can you just fry gravy?
Actually, that
Yeah,
might work.
fried gravy.
No, we have that. Yeah, that exists. Yeah.
Fried fish and chips is already fried, but
But we can double fry it though.
yeah,
In a Shiner Bock beer batter,
yeah.
and then cover it in powdered sugar.
That's what I like about Texas.
Have you guys
Dairy
ever
Queen?
had?
Yeah.
You guys been to England? Anybody?
I have, yes.
You had the fish and chips?
No, because I don't like seafood.
Does anybody like fish and chips?
Yeah, I like fish and chips.
I like fish and chips.
So you can replicate British street fish and chips here in Austin, but you have to drive fast.
Okay.
You can get the Bill Miller fries, are British steak chips.
Okay,
They're
yeah.
perfect. Same
Okay,
size, same
okay,
consistency,
okay,
if
okay.
they fry them enough. You then have to drive around, if you're in South Austin, around the corner, down Slaughter, down Brody, to Culver's. and get the fish.
Culver's has the fish?
Then they've got the cod.
Okay.
Now, they don't do a whole big piece like you're meant to, but it's exactly the same as they do it in Britain. So if you can just have them give you some fish, and you don't have to get the whole meal because you already got your fries, and mix that, and just eat it. As soon as you get out of the Culver's line, then the fries should still be hot from Bill Miller.
Have you been to any of the places that sell fish and chips?
Like Fido?
Fido
Oh, no, yeah, here, no,
or,
that's shitty.
Sherlock's, for example?
No, they don't do it right.
Where do you eat the brown sauce?
From Fiesta.
Okay. Or you bring your own brown sauce in.
Yeah. BYOB.
BYOBS.
Close enough, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
I just used to use fish and chips to keep my hands warm when I was in England. I used to walk home and let the smoke come up your face. And I didn't even eat it till I got home because it was like gloves.
Yeah, Josh did it in like did you do a whole exchange student year, or was it just a
I didn't exchange
semester?
anything. I was just Bible Institute. Yeah, I went.
But you did an exchange studentish thing where you went to England.
Yeah, I went and studied abroad,
Yeah.
but I didn't exchange for with anyone.
Oh, you just
I
went
didn't
to
stay
the
with any
college.
family. I lived in a castle like Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, it was
You
cool.
lived in Hogwarts?
Yeah.
That's great.
We didn't have. I met this one other cool kid, and he went to Manchester and got some hash. And we went up to the top of the castle, the parapet, whatever tower.
Oh, yeah, I looked
and
at
smoked
that.
out of a pen cap. This hash, like crackheads.
Yeah.
Then we started walking back down the stairs and saw too many people. When we were like, no, there's too many people. They're gonna know. They see me. They're gonna look at my face. So we went back up, and we were like, we're gonna have to go out the window and use the fire escape. And the fire escapes around this castle were like a series of spring-loaded stair drop downs and spiral staircase.
Sure.
There was a catwalk that snuck by the girls' rooms. It was like a video game.
Yeah, Rapunzel's hair. Yeah.
It took for freaking ever to get down to the grass. We'd like kiss the ground when we got down to the ground. And the whole time we were giggling and falling down. We're like, this should be a video game. It was very dangerous. It was all old wrought iron, rusty.
That's awesome.
Sure, sure.
Have like a nice Harry Potter style sleepaway school. Oh, that sounds great.
It was cool.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Drunkcast presents
Drunkcast presents Castle.
That's
Castle
the
Sleep-Ins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of
Castle Sleep-In.
Alamo Sleepaway Camp.
There are a lot of
Sleepaway
Potter
camp,
files
yeah.
out there. So.
Yeah, of course.
Have you guys heard about the Alamo Draft House Sleepaway Camp thing they're doing?
No.
For
the movies?
They're doing an adult summer camp for Halloween.
Yeah. It's where you can go off and have watch scary movies and have like a scary movie sleepaway camp.
Preferably be Sleepaway Camp, the series of movies.
With actual fucking instead of fingering. 'Cause he's old now.
Yep.
And actual killing? That'd be.
At least
Real
one murder.
murder.
At least one murder. That's all I'm asking for. Obama. We're coming to the end of the show. I want to thank everyone for coming and hanging out with us. Donnie, thanks so much for coming.
Thank
with
you,
us.
Travis.
Always happy to have you on the show. Do you want to give a plug to your podcast?
So yeah, Josh and I are on another podcast, and it is called the Austin Couchcast.
Yep.
And if you like what you hear, you can hear us going off on that subject and various subjects on a bi-weekly basis.
When I'm in opening conversations with Indian Roller and Moon Tower about doing a comedy night in one of those two places.
That would be
What
great.
is your
Yeah.
hook though at Austin Couchcast? Because here we drink,
Yeah.
and you guys do
So
other things.
there are two main ways that you hang out with your friends. Number one is you go out to a bar and you drink and you talk, and
Check.
the other one is you go and you hang out at your friend's couch and you talk. And that's what we do with the Austin Couchcast. We go and we hang out on a couch and we talk about
And is there
Topics?
any kind of substance that's necessary in order to?
I mean, are you drinking beer?
Yeah,
Or are
you guys are drinking while you're talking, like we are.
we're drinking a couple beers,
Sure,
and,
sure. Any other thing that you're-
I'm vaping a lot.
Oh, yes, it's the vaping that I'm trying to
I
pull
like
out of you,
vaping
yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
And anything else is we're waiting on Congress, right?
There it is. Yeah.
Trying to have stimulating creative conversation and come up with a lot of interesting ideas.
Yeah.
Well,
With
keeping it
the-
organic.
While at the same time trying
Very
to keep
organic. Yeah.
trying to keep Sean from talking, right? I know he doesn't listen to this show, so I can say
Yeah, he
whatever I
doesn't
want. He wants to be on this show, but he won't listen. Whoops.
Strike one.
Austin Couch Cost.
Is it Austin Couchcast or ATX?
It's
Austin
what Travis
Couchcast.
said. He said Austin cock piss. What'd you say?
Yeah, AustinCockpiss.com.
Yeah. AustinCouchcast.com.
It should be the
Podcast.
first thing that comes up in Google, but don't click on any of the other links.
And you guys are on iTunes, of course.
We are going to be on iTunes. We're still working on. I'm getting our base. Of
We're on iTunes
episodes
in the
up.
future.
Yeah.
Okay, so many years from now,
Yeah.
Back to the
This is
iTunes.
recorded.
the iTunes, yeah.
Haven't gotten that Zune store thing down yet, but
Zune Store is nothing now.
Oh, it's nothing.
Yeah, it stopped being a thing, which is excellent news for us.
Cool. Well, then we're on it.
Josh is also like you said, the personality on the Austin Couchcast. But you're also what else are you doing when it comes to the entertainment realm? Are you still doing any kind of stand up?
I'm working on getting a South Austin comedy night going somewhere, and because there's a lot of trendy hip. I hate to say, and someone's gonna murder me if I say Sochaka.
Soda Soap.
It's gonna be Dylan. Dylan's gonna be the one to
Soda
murder.
Sopa, yeah.
There's some neat places opening up down Slaughter Manchac area. I'm trying to get some comedy going there.
You want to host, or do you want to have a place where you can do comedy again?
I like hosting because I can try new shit and I don't have to do a spot.
Sure.
Yeah, you just
I
in
can
between people.
yeah.
Just be like, hey.
And open and close the show.
Oh yeah.
And I don't have to actually put a set together. And if I put a set together, then I can give myself a spot when I feel like it.
I'm going to do this next 10 minutes, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Well, you're 10 minutes over 2 hours. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah.
Usually people don't like being introduced after you just killed it. So
Yeah.
I probably just would throw
You're
a
like,
showcase.
I did this. I did this. This is me. Anyway, the next person up said
Donnie Johnson, everybody.
No, that's when you ride the wave. That's when the audience is all pumped up and ready to go, and you just ride that wave like a surfer. You just
Okay.
like the momentum's already there. It
right.
makes it easier, according to my experience. The best part is whenever you go up at 12:37 at night, and the only people that you're talking to are 4 other comedians that did their sets earlier. Those are the best nights.
Yeah.
Dylan, anything you want to plug?
No.
No.
No, I get nothing.
Everything's going good for you.
Swimmingly.
Swiftingly. Yeah.
Swiftingly. It's going swifty.
Yeah, I'm going to plug Rick and Morty. Yeah.
But I love all you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you like the show, you want to know more about the show, you can go to drunkcastlive.com. That's drunkcastlive.com. We're at facebook.com/drunkcastlive. We're at drunkcastlive on Twitter. We are drunkcast pics on Instagram.
Yeah, I've seen some notifications for that.
We're doing a thing next week.
We're
going to be on YouTube.
We are going to be on YouTube's next Saturday. So we have a show next Friday. It's going to come out at the same time. Tuesday or Wednesday. It's going to be Wednesday. But on that Saturday, we're going to go to, there's a local place with Chris Sibilia.
ATX tonight?
We're going to do ATX tonight. We're going to do a show.
Awesome.
There are going to be guests on
We're going to be guests on the show. We have no idea what that actually entails, but it'll be fun to figure it out together.
I'll be
I would
drinking
like to
the
see
whole
that.
time.
I need to start watching some of his
We
episodes.
should try to figure out how we can, like, I don't know, wear the same shirt
No, you
or something.
need to bring a posse. Like we can fill up the seats.
Oh, that'd be fun, actually.
Yeah.
Because I love what they're doing, and they love what we're doing.
So we should do a Dumb and Dumber tuxedo thing?
A tuxedo for Dumb and Dumber or a Step Brothers tuxedo thing.
Okay.
Either way. That'd be great, actually.
Either way, yeah. So we're going to do that on Saturday, and that will be released in the future, and we'll...
It's New Movement Theater, ATX Live, ATX Tonight.
ATX Tonight.
With Chris Billy.
With Chris Bieler.
If you wait a week to release this episode, then it's out now.
Well, no, this is going to
depends
come
on their
out.
production
This is going to be on the Wednesday schedule, and then, by the time you're listening to this, we're going to be 4 days, I guess, until we're on that show,
Yeah.
which would be, I think it's going to be fun.
So come out on Saturday, October 18th.
What is today?
17th.
It's the 17th. Yeah, 17th.
I'm intrigued to see how a YouTube night show goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. I went and watched the recording.
It's a live audience, and the crowd's
Chris,
pumped up,
Chris, when the last time he was on the show, he reserved some tickets for us. I went and I experienced the recording, and it was fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
Studio audience, kind of.
Yeah, studio audience.
Bleacher
Yeah.
deal.
With
Talk show.
he has talk show circuit. Like he's got that not circuit. Excuse me. The whole concept of him. He gets up, he does a monologue. He brings on people. He has music. Like it's pretty legit actually. And they do it every fucking week.
Can you
Every Saturday?
swear and say words?
Oh yeah, it's YouTube.
Yeah, it's
It's
YouTube.
not. It's not
YouTube,
ABC.
You can say felch.
Yeah, you can say Felch.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you can
no
say-
one really
you can
knows
say-
what a Felch is.
You can say
so-
Jews.
Well, you shouldn't say Jews. But
That's what they're called.
It's my daughter always sounds like Hitler when she gets mad. Bring me my juice. Bring me the juice.
let's see what else. 412-440-7468. That's our phone number. You can actually either give us a phone call or you can text us if you have questions or you want to say something at us.
You can drunk text us.
You can drunk test us. You can drunk call us. I don't give a shit at this point. You can
Drunk
do
cast us.
whatever
Who
you want,
cares?
and then I will share that with the group, much like one of my favorites, because this is the last person who ever did this, and all I need is for someone to do better than this guy. Let's get the...
Dude, I need the credit I deserve, dude. Fucking call me.
Can you do better? Try it, please. Yeah. Do your best.
We have no idea who that guy is. Right?
Yeah, he was just a random person who was new to the person.
I'll give you credit if I had any clue who the fuck you were.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Hey, random guy, we give you credit.
Take that.
We like what you got.
And always questions at Drunkcast Live. If you want to email us, if you want to know more about the show, you can be on the show and come hang out with us. We always have an audience. We have Chris Lloyd over here, like
Frequent audience member.
Yeah, everyone's having a good time. You should come have a good time with us too.
Yes.
And please just podcast responsibly.
If you were offended or upset by anything we've said tonight,
Spoilers.
Then
eat
we'll
a
see you
bag
next,
of dicks.
We'll see you next week.
Right.
Come right on back. We
You'll
got
see.
more for it. We're that good.
Yeah. Anyway, but I'm Travis and I love you, and we'll see you next week.
We come to let you know what the deal is.
Have the answer to this.
Yep.
He's rolling coal.
All right, so that deserves a check mark.